we are going to use the distance formula to develop the equation of a circle. Now, remember the distance formula, we were taking the difference between the origin and some point, okay? So, like here, that distance would be the radius. Well, the equation of a circle at the center here, we haven't shifted that center anywhere. And so if I think about it, I can draw like a right triangle here. And so I look at it, and these are kind of like our parts of a right triangle. And the equation of that circle is going to be this x value, this y value, and then however far the radius is, type of thing. And so the equation of that circle is going to look like x squared plus y squared is equal to your r squared. Now, part of that is because we didn't shift the circle anywhere, okay? Now, when we shift the circle somewhere, that means that the center of my circle has shifted. So that means that the x value of the center of my circle has shifted over here to my h value. So the distance now has shifted from here to here. And remember that I want to look at that x minus h. I want to look at the difference between those two, because usually we look at this x value. I want to look at that difference. And so that's going to be x minus h squared plus, I do the same thing with that y value, and that's going to be a k, because our center is now what we consider hk, that point. And so it will look like y minus k squared, and my radius here, r, will stay r squared. So basically what we've done is we're still using the x squared plus y squared. The x squared is telling me that I have this shape right here. The y squared is telling me that I have this type of shape here. So having both of those shapes makes it a circle. And then I have that r squared giving me that radius. The h and the k tell me that it's shifted from the center 0, 0 to some point on my graph. And it's the minus because I want to know that difference between the center and that point. So whenever we shift it to 6, negative 4, that would mean that it got shifted somewhere down here, okay? So it'd be right here at 6 and negative 4. And so the distance here and the difference here. So my equation of my circle would be x minus that 6 squared plus a y minus that negative 4 squared is equal to 7 squared. And so you have to be a little bit careful. These two negatives become a positive. So that's y plus 4 squared. And this stays x minus 6 squared. And this becomes 49. Basically what it is you're moving in the opposite direction because you're going to be squaring it. And when you square a number, you have to pay attention to the signs and things like that. So you're moving in that opposite direction. But think about it. If I take x minus 6 and I set it equal to 0, because that's where the origin is, and I solve that, I add 6 to both sides, I get a positive 6. Okay, which is where that value is. If I look at y plus 4 equal to 0, the origin, and I subtract 4, y is equal to a negative 4. So think about doing it backwards. You have y is equal to a negative 4. I want to get this to be 0. I want to move things to the other side, so I have to add 4 to both sides. So I get y plus 4 is equal to 0. And that's how this right here comes about. Because we've moved it from the 0 to the negative 4 position. Okay? Maybe that will help you understand why we change the sign a little bit more. It's because we've moved it to the opposite side. Now here, I want to find the center. So the center, if you want to, you can get used to setting each of these equal to 0 and solving. Or you can just remember to use the opposite signs. And so that would be a positive 3 and a negative 4. Or you can say x minus 3 equals 0, add 3 to both sides. So x is equal to 3. Y plus 4 is equal to 0. Subtract 4. Y is equal to a negative 4. I get the exact same thing. Either way, whichever one helps you. My radius will always be whatever the equation is equal to. I need to take the square root of that. So the square root of 25 will be 5. So practice some with your circles and see what you can do.